I'm so glad that you were all able to join me today for how paid community service combines civic action and career goals. The Rhode Island Civic Learning Coalition is working together to build new civic learning opportunities for all Rhode Islanders. And I believe that there is a direct connection between civic learning and community service and the work that AmeriCorps does. So I'm happy to talk to you about that today. The Rhode Island Civic Learning Coalition is a multiracial, multi-ethnic, and multi-generational coalition committed to ensuring that all Rhode Islanders, including young people and those most marginalized from our democratic system, have equitable access to high-quality civic learning opportunities. This Civic Learning Week of 2024 highlights the importance of civic education in sustaining and strengthening constitutional democracy in the United States. And these are just some of the many people who have supported the Civic Learning Week this year, along with AmeriCorps. If you do not know me, my name is Amanda Forget. I am an AmeriCorps alum, so I am presenting you today from my heart and from my passion for service. Outside of that, I'm also a dance educator and choreographer. I'm the vice president of Woonsocket Adoptive Family, and I'm a Serve Rhode Island staff member, helping to spread awareness of AmeriCorps and support AmeriCorps programs and AmeriCorps members across the state. But I would love to know a little bit more about you. And so if you wouldn't mind all adding in the chat box your name and what organization you're with, I'd love to be able to follow up with you after and send you information. And so adding your name and a contact for yourselves in the chat, that would be great. But again, I'm most excited today to talk to you about how paid community service combines that civic action and your potential career goals. If someone wouldn't mind sharing, I'd also love to know what brought you to this presentation today. Maybe you know about AmeriCorps, or you're an alum of AmeriCorps, or maybe you've never heard of it before and you're just here to learn more, but understanding a little bit more about why you chose to show up today would help me tailor some of the things that I'm going to talk about.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'll go first, I guess. I work for the Smithfield Parks and Recreation Department, and my focus or the reason for tuning in today is because I'm also an advisor for our youth council. And so we have a really good group of students who are basically the overachievers and looking for additional leadership opportunities.
Awesome.
And potential projects that they can take on.
Great.
I can get. Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Ellen Lynch, and I'm a program manager with Generation Citizen. We're a civics education organization, a national organization. I work with our New England team. I've had the pleasure of working with Amanda and her colleague, Adam Donaldson, in the past. So at Generation Citizen, we work with teachers in Rhode Island and Massachusetts to help them implement our Action Civics curriculum in schools. And actually, right now, we're really making the connection between the skills that students are learning by engaging in civic education, the skills they're learning that are going to help them to prepare them for college and career readiness. So I can't wait to hear your work in that area too, Amanda, in making the connection between community service and these lifelong skills that they're going to be developing. So.
Thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, that's really helpful. I'm definitely going to touch on all of those things that you both mentioned throughout the presentation. So my objectives today, similar to what you all had said, I want to talk about what AmeriCorps is from the basics, and then I want to get into the benefits of service, and then I'll share a little bit of information about how you can take this information and share it out with other people, whether that be the schools or organizations that you're with, or with students or prospective AmeriCorps members. So what is AmeriCorps? I want to start off by playing this short clip for you.
So you have questions about AmeriCorps? Well, you've come to the right place, because we're here to help. First off, let's clear up one thing right away. You might be wondering how to say or spell AmeriCorps. Sometimes people pronounce the P, but don't make that same mistake. AmeriCorps is alive and well, just spelled with a silent P. So think of Apple Core, or Core of the Earth. Now that we have that clear, what exactly is AmeriCorps anyways? AmeriCorps is simply Americans of all ages and backgrounds dedicating their time and skills to get things done. There we go. So how does AmeriCorps get things done? More than 80,000 Americans across the country join AmeriCorps each year, and all of them are tackling different problems in different ways. For example, AmeriCorps members help families attain affordable homes. They mentor students so that they stay in school. Perhaps there is a tornado, a flood, a forest fire, or a hurricane. AmeriCorps members also help communities recover from disasters. There's so many more things that AmeriCorps members do, but if we said it all, we'd be here all day. Why do we call them members, you ask? AmeriCorps members spend anywhere from 3 months to a year dedicating their time and skills to serve. They can volunteer with nonprofits, schools, public agencies, and community and faith-based organizations. And in case you were wondering, there are a few perks AmeriCorps members get, including money to pay for college, student loan deferment, training, living allowance, health benefits, and job opportunities with leading employers. Not too bad, right? All right. What's the purpose of AmeriCorps? Like the military or the Peace Corps, AmeriCorps is a way to serve your country. AmeriCorps members make Americans safer, stronger, and healthier, and they strengthen our communities. But above all, AmeriCorps members get things done. That's it. That's what AmeriCorps is. Learn more about AmeriCorps at AmeriCorps.gov.
Awesome. So I wanted to show that video because I feel like it's a really good condensed version of all the great things that AmeriCorps is. But I did want to dive a little bit deeper into the history of AmeriCorps because we're approaching a 100-year-old community again for service. And I think that when we're thinking about how long people have been giving back, it's been since the beginning of time. And now we're able to put people into service and bring people into action to fight for things that they believe in, to take their passions and make them their careers, and take those civic goals that they have and combine them with service in order to, make the right career steps to for themselves. So in 1933, there was the creation of what President Franklin Roosevelt called the Civilian Conservation Corps. And that was the very first large national job program that mobilized men in public work projects across the country. And so they would be sent across to help from one various project to another. And this model is where a lot of AmeriCorps programs are now modeled after, because they take something that they need and they utilize people through action to get those things done. In the 1960s, they started to see that older Americans who have then retired still had a lot to give and wanted to give back. And so the creation of AmeriCorps Seniors, through the RSVP, the foster grandparents, and senior companions programs were initiated. So there were avenues for people to continue to serve in fields that they had previously worked in to continue to give back. In 1961, President Kennedy created the Peace Corps through executive order. So then not only were we able to come together to serve our country, but we were also able to come together to serve different parts of the world. And then in 1964, President Johnson unveiled the War on Poverty, and that also included the VISTA program, which stands for Volunteers in Service to America. And so that AmeriCorps program is all around capacity building and helping organizations grow from the ground up. In most recent years, we've seen AmeriCorps come to life. In 1993, President Bill Clinton signed the National and Community Trust Act, which made AmeriCorps take all of those individual programs and combine them under one national service umbrella. And then in 2009, President Barack Obama signed the Edward M. Kennedy Service Act, which was a plan to grow the number of AmeriCorps positions across the country. So to date, we've had 40,000 communities served across the United States. Over 250,000 people have volunteered as AmeriCorps members, and they've served a combined total of 1.6 billion hours. And those are programs that serve in every single state and territory, as well as under a whole gamut of different areas. Particularly in Rhode Island, since AmeriCorps came to be here in 1994, we've had more than 8,300 AmeriCorps members serve approximately 12 million hours. And because of the service that they did and those hours that they served, they were able to earn education award dollars, which I'll talk about a little bit later. And those total $30 million in educational scholarships that all of those AmeriCorps members were able to take. Just last year, our programs did a phenomenal job serving students, serving housing, communities, COVID response. So we have so many different programs in our state serving, again, from educational institutions to housing authorities across the state, helping with eviction prevention. We have programs that help with land sustainability, food conservation, all of these different things. And so it's a really great opportunity to find something that you're passionate about and then continue to do something about it, to learn more, to create change and make a difference. So, for example, our AmeriCorps members supported over 10,000 kids in school and in extended learning opportunities last year, working to improve their attendance, working to improve their ELA or math scores. A lot of our programs have different intervention goals, but overall, over 10,000 students were served. We also helped over 2,000 individuals access affordable and healthy housing, and we helped those residents secure over $800,000 in rental and food assistance by helping them apply for different programs that were available to them across the state. We had programs that were still finishing up COVID relief services, and those programs were able to distribute over 85,000 pounds of food in a 6-month period. And so taking food from farms, what they call gleaning, and getting all the last bits of food that large retailers don't want, to food markets, to SNAP benefit programs. And we were also able to help educate people on those food practices, on those climate and conservation practices. And we managed over 224 volunteers. Those AmeriCorps members managed more than 224 volunteers to complete those land conservation projects, from Norman bird sanctuaries to Audubon societies, helping to make sure that our land is well taken care of.
To laugh often and much. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
I show that video as a transition point because I think that at the end of the day, I can tell you about AmeriCorps and all the great things that it does, but there's this general message about why are we doing this? Why, what is it that's bringing us to service? And for me and my personal story, I went to college for 4 years and I changed my major twice. And by the end of that 4 years, I didn't leave with a degree, and I left knowing that I was interested in a lot of different things, but I wasn't exactly sure how to transition those skills and those passions and those ideas into a career and what I really wanted to do. How was I supposed to pick one thing? And so I was looking into the Peace Corps and found out that as a Peace Corps volunteer, you have to have your bachelor's degree, and I didn't. But then they were able to lead me to AmeriCorps, and I was looking into different programs to serve with AmeriCorps because I thought, well, if I'm not going to school and I'm not sure what I want to do, I need to do something. So I chose to serve as an AmeriCorps member. And I was looking through all of the programs. And at the time, I was working at a daycare and I was doing before and after school, and I was doing summer camp. And so this program called City Year had found my profile on the AmeriCorps website and said, you have a lot of the same interests as our program aligns to. We serve students and help them stay in school and on track to graduate by helping them with attendance, behavior, course performance, things like that. And it was really aligned, obviously, to the role that I had at the daycare center. And so I chose to move to New Hampshire to do that service because there's AmeriCorps opportunities everywhere, but that program also exists in Rhode Island. But I chose to serve there, and I learned so much from my experience because I served in a classroom, and I knew at the end of that first year of service that I loved planning, but I didn't necessarily love being a teacher. And so I chose to serve for a second year of service. And in my second year of service, by doing this hands-on learning experience, I was given the role of an impact project leader. And so that meant that I was in charge of helping to plan the trainings for the new AmeriCorps members. So everything that I had learned by being an AmeriCorps member the year before, I would get to help train the next cohort of AmeriCorps members on. And in that year of service, I learned so much about, presentations and prepping for events and making sure, that people were learning the skills that they needed and taking their feedback and creating and using my creativity to, come up with new ideas and new ways to train the next cohort. And during that year of service, they gave me the opportunity to, step out of my comfort zone a little bit more and work with their development department to help plan events for their corporate sponsors. And so I got to see a different side of the organization through my AmeriCorps experience. And so then I served for a third year of service, and I was a development project leader, which meant that I was still serving, but I was working under the development department and helping to work with those corporate sponsors and also getting to train the AmeriCorps members and still get that experience. And so I was able to, in a really tangible, hands-on way, get to hone in on the things that really interested me. And it turned out that a lot of the things that I was excited about during college were all of those things, but I just didn't understand how to align them until I started to do them. And until I started to be in service. And so that's kind of how I ended up learning that project management and communications and event planning were all of the things that I really enjoyed doing, because I was able to combine a sense of organization and expectation with creativity and meld those together to come up with ways to educate people about things. But I could also tell you about plenty of people who decided that they learned something completely different from their service, but also helped channel exactly what career path they were most passionate about. And so I say all that to say that there are a lot of benefits of service, but truly the personal growth portion is the part that has meant the most to me and can mean the most for people who are participating. So from a bullet point standpoint, right, we have our AmeriCorps member benefits, and the first one really is that member development. I can't, talk about enough about how AmeriCorps is specifically brought into existence to help people not only serve their community, but learn more about themselves and develop themselves. You're not being hired as an AmeriCorps member to automatically know how to do a job. You're being hired as an AmeriCorps member to help grow and develop into the person that can then go off and get, a job in the field that you're looking for. And so AmeriCorps programs are required to have a certain amount of trainings about life after AmeriCorps, resume development, interview skills, professional development along the way, whether that's DEI or training, all of the things that, an organization provides in terms of training development for their staff is also provided for the AmeriCorps members, so they continue to learn as they serve. An AmeriCorps member position is volunteer service, but it's more than that because of that development and because they do also get paid. An AmeriCorps member earns what's called a living allowance. So it's a stipend that's paid, bi-weekly. And it's not based on the amount of hours, but rather like a set amount based on the service that you're doing. And so the living allowance is designed to help AmeriCorps members meet the necessary living expenses incurred while participating, but is not necessarily, a salary. I like to think of it as a paid internship. And by being an AmeriCorps member, the end goal is to understand more clearly what you want to do next, but also maybe that is to go back to school and or maybe you've already completed school and now you're using this as a transition step. And the benefit of the Siegel Education Award is that when you complete an AmeriCorps member term of service, you earn an education award in return. And depending on how many hours of service you complete, you could get from $1,300 to $6,500. And that is a really, really, really great opportunity to be able to pay back student loans, which is what I did with my education award, or to pay for future tuition for school, to go back to school or to go to school if you happen to join AmeriCorps right out of high school. The money, like I said, the $6,500 is basically a semester at Rhode Island College, and it could be 2 semesters at CCRI. And so this is a huge benefit because it allows, like I said, it allows you to learn more about what you're interested in, and then also give you a means to continuing your education in that field if that's what you want to do. While you're serving, there's other things like loan forbearance and healthcare and childcare that are also benefits to those AmeriCorps members along the way. But again, when we're coming back to that personal growth and that understanding of our passions, and making a difference through action, we're talking about finding AmeriCorps opportunities, that help you find your best fit, and help you become a part of something bigger. When you go to the AmeriCorps website, they have tools that allow you to search for anything. You can narrow down a service opportunity based on the amount of time that you're able to serve, whether that be part-time or full-time. You're able to search by interest areas. If you're interested in law, if you're interested in education, if you're interested in healthcare, you're able to search by state. If you're like, you know what, this is my opportunity to go serve in Colorado, then go find an opportunity in Colorado and you'll be able to search that as well. And so you're able to broaden your horizons, really, and grow personally, grow professionally, receive benefits for your service, and be connected to a support system while you're learning. When you're an AmeriCorps member, you're a part of a team and you're a part of a community that continues to grow and support you along the way. And so you're able to take those risks and be on those projects that you aren't really sure about, because there's going to be somebody there helping you and teaching you along the way. And maybe the end result is that you learn, no, you know what? I don't love that as much. But now you know that. And maybe it's that, yes, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want to do. And a lot of our AmeriCorps members go on to have positions at the organizations that they serve at or similar organizations because of their AmeriCorps experience, because organizations understand that an AmeriCorps member is a hardworking person who has experience in the field. So this video is a video of some of our AmeriCorps alums from a couple of years ago.
I'm amazed that so many more people in this country don't know what AmeriCorps is and how to make it work for them. Because AmeriCorps is one of those things, once I got involved with and I saw all the opportunities, it literally changed my life.
I feel like I'm still part of that because of where I am, because of the job that I do, and because of what I have been able to accomplish through AmeriCorps.
I really was able to view things on more of a structural level, and that totally opened my eyes to what I wanted to do really for the rest of my life.
It's always a learning process, and everything I learned at AmeriCorps, I could apply it towards my regular life, towards my kids.
There's a lot that needs to be done, and there are a lot of different ways that you can help your community.
So I think the hardest part of service for me, or the biggest adjustment, was kind of realizing how much I didn't know. Because as soon as I kind of opened myself up to, this is new, there's lots of things I don't know, and this is a different experience, then I was able to absorb all the more.
Yeah, I think that's what's so unique about AmeriCorps Vista, Senior Corps. It really is a time of growth.
The last few years have been challenging, but I have not felt alone. I've always felt supported at every step of the way.
AmeriCorps, to me, it's an opportunity to help the community.
Serve RI AmeriCorps means to me opportunity to gain the knowledge and the understanding to be a better person.
It's amazing. It's very rewarding. It's not the easiest thing. There's a lot that we as members need to do, but you will definitely be making a difference.
I'm able to work towards collective impact, work towards voices being heard, work towards equity in a way that I never would have been able to do if I hadn't served and been part of national service and served Rhode Island.
So after that video, I'm curious for you all to do a little bit of self-reflecting and think of a time when you volunteered for something. What did you maybe take away from that experience? Did you love it? Why or why not? Were you just proud to leave that service project thinking, I did something good today? I think that when we're serving and it brings us joy, we can connect that to the joy and the greatness that comes from that as well. And not only ourselves, but who that service is impacting and benefiting. And maybe there's transferable skills in what you used and what you did that day during that service. A lot of times in our AmeriCorps experiences, we're working towards something so great that we don't always see that benefit right away. When we're serving, people in the community, and we're hoping that our training can help them get one step closer to the housing experience that they're looking for, or we're working with a student to help them catch up to their grade level in reading. We may not see that change on the first day or the first week or the first month, but day by day, the small little things that we can be doing, the small little actions that we can give will collectively impact those people over time. And it's the patience and the experience of a long-term service impact where you find your leadership and your skills and your drive to continue to help. When we're thinking about AmeriCorps, we want to think about how we can help others first. I think there's an instinct for people to want to help, to want to join a program. But the hidden gem of AmeriCorps is that when you leave, when you're done, you realize how much that the service has also helped you. And the opportunity to serve a community need while growing personally and professionally is the real gold that AmeriCorps is. And so I urge you to think about people who could benefit from an AmeriCorps experience. If you're someone in a setting where there are students who are unsure of what their next step is because they don't know, what they want to do, if they are not able to go to college because of financial reasons, if they are unsure of college because they really don't know what they want to do, if someone's graduated from college but still doesn't have, kind of a clear path similar to me, or maybe somebody who's in a career path but isn't sure that it's the right one for them. This type of opportunity, serving with AmeriCorps, allows you to commit to a small chunk of time, whether it's 3 months to a year of service, and know that at the end of that, they might be one step closer to finding what their true passion and career path could be. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about how your organizations or your students or the people that you work with could also get involved in AmeriCorps. And if we're thinking about becoming an AmeriCorps member, there are some rules around being an AmeriCorps member. One, that AmeriCorps members must be at least 17 years of age, and they must be a U.S. citizen. the need for a high school diploma is more of a promise to fulfill a diploma or to continue your education. But you will also have to, a AmeriCorps member would also have to pass a criminal history check and other eligibility requirements determined by the program. Most programs would take anybody of any age, but some AmeriCorps programs are a little bit different in the restrictions. So, for example, there's a program called Teach for America, and these AmeriCorps members must have their bachelor's degree in order to participate because they will be in a program that allows them to get their master's degree and their certification in teaching along the way. And I guess I would say, as a benefit as well, a lot of our programs have these secondary certifications to them. The Housing Authority program in Rhode Island, it's called Accessing Home through the NeighborWorks Blackstone River Valley, also pays for all of their AmeriCorps members to get their HUD certification. And that certification allows them at their AmeriCorps after their AmeriCorps service to go and get a job at a housing authority because of that certification requirement. And so these AmeriCorps experiences are not only giving them their professional development skills, but they're also aiding them in getting certifications in order to get higher paying jobs when they leave. In Rhode Island, I was talking a little bit about some of the programs, but I remember that I had this slide here. So I just wanted to touch on all the different things that our state does in terms of service. And so our Farm Fresh program helps to recapture food from farms across the state and bring them to farmers markets. They also help educate students on healthy eating, and they help to make sure that our SNAP benefits are matched at local farmers markets. Our Skills for Rhode Island Future program is a program where students in the business program at Rhode Island College are partnered with nonprofit organizations to help them capacity build and grow their missions. We also have Segway Institute for Learning and Highlander Charter School, and both of those education programs are working with the elementary school students on attendance and course performance. Our Children's Friend program takes parents of students at their organizations and helps them and train them in counseling other parents and helping to connect parents at their organizations to other benefits that they could be connected to. I talked a little bit about Teach for America and their service as classroom teachers. Meals on Wheels helps to provide meals across the state. Our Accessing Home program helps to provide housing services and eviction prevention trainings across the state. Girl Scouts of New England is looking to help foster more engagement from parents and communities in the program itself. Our AmeriCorps program is the program that's working on rehabbing conservation areas like Norman Bird Sanctuary and the Audubon Society. And Save the Bay is working to clean up the bay. And that includes educating field trips of students who are coming to the Save the Bay locations, as well as running volunteer projects to clean up the shorelines in Providence and Newport. And this is just really the tip of the iceberg. These are programs that are operating in Rhode Island right now, but there are so many more in Rhode Island, as well as in all of the states across the country. And so, like I said, if you're interested in something, the AmeriCorps website allows you to search kind of by your interests or by your time to see if something meets your needs. And so these are kind of more about the websites that I was talking about. Our home Serve Rhode Island AmeriCorps website is AmeriCorpsRI.com. And this is where you're going to be able to learn more about the programs that are operating within Rhode Island and in our state. that I was just talking about. You'll be able to find contact information if you're looking to reach out to them. They're all, willing to have a conversation about how they operate their program and how you could see your program operating if you were looking to start one, or if you were looking to just connect somebody with being an AmeriCorps member with that program. And then there is the my.americorps.gov site. And this website is really that search engine site that I was mentioning, where you can search anything and all of the opportunities. Every single AmeriCorps program is required to post their opportunity on this site. So you're able to see all different positions that are happening all across the country. And then there's the AmeriCorps.gov website, and that website is the general AmeriCorps website for across the country. So their website could bring you to ours, or ours could bring you to theirs, but that one is going to tell you more broadly about AmeriCorps as a whole and how, it's bringing out the best in America. So as I kind of wrap up a lot of the words that I was just saying, I challenge you to just think of somebody who could benefit from doing a year of service with AmeriCorps, and maybe how you could share this information with them. I think that another thing that I like to think about and I like to present to you all is to connect me to people. If there are ways that I can deliver this information to high schoolers and talk about the benefits of potentially doing a year of service in their future, post-college or pre-college, if you know that there are people who could benefit from that, I'm happy to go and table at events or do presentations. I'm also, just happy to have a conversation about my personal experience and what that could do for somebody else. I have done one-on-ones with AmeriCorps members who want to serve again, but in a different program. I've helped people who are looking to serve choose a program that makes the most sense for them. Just happy to spread the word about national service and what a benefit it could be for them. If you have any additional questions or comments, I'm happy to open the floor. And I ask that the Rhode Island Civic Learning Coalition requested that everybody take a survey at the end of this. So this QR code is for the Civic Learning Coalition's end of presentation survey. So if you wouldn't mind taking that for me, I would greatly appreciate it, and so would they. Again, my name's Amanda Forget, and I am just happy to be an AmeriCorps alum and to talk about AmeriCorps with anybody. But if you're interested in learning more about specific programs in Rhode Island and just following what our AmeriCorps programs are doing, you can follow us at AmeriCorps RI on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And on there, we'll post often about positions that are open that organizations are hiring for, as well as opportunities for alums, particularly on the LinkedIn page. Sometimes we'll highlight things, or alums will have the opportunity to post job opportunities and things like that. And like I said, being an AmeriCorps alum really gives you kind of a leg up, because people are interested in hiring AmeriCorps members because they understand that they're hardworking and loyal. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and stop the recording, but just open it up for any comments or questions that you may have.